Welcome back, colleagues. Let us continue with our presentation. Now we are going to talk to the amendments to school-based assessment. Let's talk to the number of tasks. There are no amendments in the number of tasks and also mark allocation. The tasks that we have for the intermediate phase are 7 tasks for the whole year. That is, in term 1, we've got an assignment and also a test. In term 2, we've got an investigation and also a test. In term 3, we are having a project and a test. Then in term 4, we are having the end of the year test. What we have done, colleagues, with the number of tasks, we've given guided information on when to administer the task. For an example, with the assignment, after 2 topics or so, we have indicated that you can administer an assignment, which therefore means that you will administer an assignment in those topics. And then you are not going to exceed the maximum of 3 hours as indicated in your ATPs. And then when it comes to the investigation, we found that colleagues are being confused at when are they supposed to conduct the investigation due to where it was allocated or it was situated in the ATPs. Then now we have put it at the beginning of the ATP so that it can strike your attention to say you can administer the investigation in any of the topics. So we are leaving it up to you, colleagues, to decide on where to administer the investigation. It's your choice. But then you have to understand that you cannot administer an investigation on the topic that you have already taught. Also, coming to the project, previously we put it as a footnote and some colleagues did not see it. We have now put it at the beginning to strike your attention again, and we have added to say the project should be administered by the end of the term, which therefore means that by the end of term 3, we are expecting that learners must be having marks for the project. You will remember that, colleagues, the project covers the work from term 1 up to term 3. The advice or the suggestion is that you can allow your learners to submit your project according to sections. For instance, when designing, you design the whole project. And remember, the project is meant to assess the skills in real life context. So what you can do, you can say the first part, that is section A of the project, should be submitted by the end of term 1. Section B of the project should be submitted by the end of term 2. And section C of the project should be submitted by the end of term 3. For you to allow the learners not to be overloaded with much work, because it's a lot of work to do, application of knowledge in real life situations. What you need to ensure, colleagues, is that if you are taking that approach, there should be no work for term 2 that will be appearing in that project, whereas it's supposed to be submitted towards the end of term 1. Ensure that if you are saying section A should be submitted towards the end of term 1, the work that is covered there must have been taught. Then coming to the examinations, we do not have any examinations in this grade. The June examination are replaced by the controlled test, and then the end of the year examinations are also replaced by the end of the year test. Coming to the weightings for the end of the year, there are no amendments to the previous weightings of the 80% and 20%. Remember, in year 2021 and also year 2022, the SBA was 80% and the end of the year examination was 20%. So with the intermediate phase, there are no amendments. We're still keeping that. Just for your own information, colleagues, this is the table that shows you the school-based assessment, that is the number of tasks throughout the year according to the terms. You will see that I've highlighted term 1 and term 3 and also highlighted the test. It is because you have to understand that the test for term 1 and term 3 only comprises of that term's work. And then when it comes to term 2, the June test will cover the work for term 1 and also term 2. Same applies to the end of the year test. The end of the year test will cover the work for term 3 and term 4, and also the fundamentals from term 1 to term 2. Your advisors are going to inform you of the fundamentals. And also you will see, colleagues, that the mark allocation for grade 5 and grade 6 for term 2 and term 4 are a bit higher than the mark allocation for the test in term 1. Just for your information, the weightings out of 80% SBA, even though SA SAMS is going to calculate that automatically for you. So those weightings are emanating from 100%, that is the total weightings for the 6 tests from term 1 to term 3. So those are the weightings according to the abridged section 4. And then when they are converted to 80%, they give us those weightings. In conclusion, colleagues, I think I've touched everything in the presentation. The only thing that we didn't talk about are cognitive levels. You will remember that for you to have a balanced task, you must consider the cognitive levels. And colleagues, you have to understand that the cognitive levels are not meant to be in the assessment only. Even when teaching, during assessment for learning, you must talk to those cognitive levels. Learners mustn't be shocked at the end of the year to see some other things that they were never exposed to during the year. For all the information, colleagues, or for any queries, you can contact your provincial coordinators according to your provinces. If you are a parent, you can contact your teacher in school, then the teacher will contact the subject advisor. The subject advisor will talk to the provincial coordinator. Colleagues, I hope you have understood the presentation, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Goodbye.